Hi, Dina Wakley here at Creativation 2020, and I'm excited to show you 3 easy techniques to use with my new gloss acrylic sprays. So let's get sprayed. I'm going to use just the white tags. What's great about them is they take the gloss spray really well. Now remember, this gloss spray is acrylic. Just like a spray paint can from the hardware store, you've got to mix it up, shake it up. They really won't clog if you keep the lid on them and shake them before you spray them. Now what's interesting about the gloss sprays is because they are acrylic, which means that they are plastic. As you spray them on your tags and on your journal pages and on anything that you spray, as those colors start to overlap, they're going to resist each other. So that plastic is going to give you this interesting resist technique. And what will happen as these colors dry and mix, these little bubbles and dots will form. You can see the dots starting to form here, and they end up looking kind of like this. You see all those different dots and little I don't even know what to call that. It's like little sprays of the acrylic extending out, and it'll dry just like that. And I think it looks kind of like a galaxy or a nebula, and you can even see it beginning here depending on the colors and the amount that you spray. So let that dry, and then you've got this perfect background on which you can stamp with archival. One of the great things about these sprays is that they are not reactive. So that means I can stencil. I'm just mopping up here. I can stencil right on one of my already done backgrounds. Make sure it's nice and dry, and the background's color will not come through. So let's say I just want to make dots. I'm just going to make dots with my blending tool. So these will stay nice and white because these acrylics, once they dry, are non-reactive. You can also write on this with the Fude ball pen and all that good stuff. All right, let's do technique number 2. So start with your tag. Go ahead and grab a chipboard shape. I'm going to use this one here. And I'm going to spray over it. The sprays will stick to that chipboard really, really well. Great. The sprays are a great way to, I've used almost this whole one. Do you hear that? It's almost empty. I've used it at the show. The sprays are a great way to add color. I think it's officially empty. I've used all of my pink. Sprays are a great way to colorize those chipboard shapes, okay? So that will dry nice and glossy on this. Set that aside. You can leave that for another project, or maybe put it back on this one. You're going to want to let that dry. I'm going to just blot it to give it a little head start. People have been asking, can I heat these? And the answer is, please don't heat these. If you heat them, what will happen is they will just get weird and cook weird because it's plastic. So I'm spraying the second color over, blot it off, and what will happen is the second color will stick to wherever the pink color did not stick. And you get this really cool effect, an easy way to get vibrant colors right next to each other. Shall we do one more quick technique? One of the great things about this spray is that you can use it to tint the white on white printed tissue. I get a lot of questions about the white on white tissue, and people aren't sure what to do with it. And I usually tint it with my acrylic paint. So I water down the acrylic, paint it, let it dry, and then you can use it in your pieces. Now that the sprays are available, you can also tint the white on white tissue with the acrylic spray. And whatever colors you want, go ahead and saturate it. Now this is almost like 2 techniques in one, because you want there to be lots of acrylic spray soaking in. This one's almost gone too. This is my second bottle of blue, by the way, for the show. All right, so I want that to dry. However, there's a lot of excess acrylic spray floating around on the top, so you can actually blot some of it off by making a print with your tag. Isn't that amazing? So this is a background that I can use later, and I'm not wasting that excess spray. And I'm still getting my tissue nice and printed. Now here's one thing that I've learned about the tissue, my friends. Remember, all things that are acrylic mediums, including regular paint and including these sprays, will act like glue as they dry. So that means if I now leave this somewhere in the studio, go to Target and come back, I will have glued this piece of tissue to whatever I left it on. So you want to hang it up. I pull out a drawer in my studio and I'll just kind of hang it over the drawer. For the show, what I've been doing is hanging them right here on my little rack. And when it's nice and dry, this is what it'll look like. Do you see the white on white? So the white's acting like a resist to the acrylic. And now I can tear this up and use this in my artwork with gel medium, for pops of color, for interesting effects. And it's just an easy and quick way to colorize that white on white tissue. So that is 3 fun techniques to do with the new gloss sprays.